Alright guys, so iOS 26 has been out for several days now, and I continue to see increasing number of reports of iPhone users experiencing issues such as battery drain, thermal issues, lagging, and crashes on their devices. So today I wanted to share my personal tips and recommendations to address these issues on the latest iOS 26. Now keep in mind, if you just recently installed iOS 26, it could take some time for everything to download into place. This is an entirely new redesign, an entirely new OS, and when you update, especially to a major software update, there's still background activity. There's still files downloading in the background, new assets being downloaded, and files being downloaded into place. So it could take some time, perhaps 2 to 3 days, for everything to actually settle down. So for the first 24 to 48 hours, you may experience some lag or perhaps even some battery and thermal issues. But if you continue to experience these issues way after updating, here are going to be a few tips and recommendations on how to improve the user experience. So the first thing I want to talk about is low power mode, because believe it or not, I've seen so many users use low power mode all day, every day, even at 80-70% battery life. And I'm going to show you why you don't want to do this. So if you're doing this, this could be part of the issue within iOS 26. So I did run a benchmark here. You see, I have iOS 26 on this iPhone 11, and you see right here, this was at 9:33 in the morning, and the low power mode was turned off. So no low power mode. And the single core score was 1,677, and the multi-core score was 2,467. Now I did the same performance test a few minutes later with low power mode enabled. So right there, I took a screenshot of those numbers, and take a look at the impact and performance, guys. So we have 1005 versus 1677. That is more than 600 points drop in the single core performance. And the multi-core performance is even greater. We have 1318 versus 2467. So over 1,000 points drop just because I enabled low power mode. So this means your iPhone could become slow, sluggish. You could encounter crash and lags throughout the operating system. So if you use low power mode all day, every day to get all day battery life, stop doing that. It is only intended for 10 to 20% battery life so that you can get through the rest of your day. If you're using this all day, take a look at the impact and performance. You're definitely missing out on performance. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is battery health. Now, battery health is extremely important, especially on older devices. You've had your iPhone for several years. You want to make sure that battery health is good. So let's go into the battery section. Let's go under the battery health and charging options. You see here that I have 97%. I don't have any battery messages here. So the battery health on this device is good, and the performance of this iPhone is pretty solid on the latest iOS 26. However, if you go into the battery health section and you see a message like this, it means your iPhone battery needs to be replaced. And obviously you want to do that, because if your battery health is not good, then the performance of your iPhone is going to be throttled and slowed down in order to sustain some of the performance according to the battery health. So yeah, make sure that your battery health is in good shape if you're running iOS 26 in order to get the optimal performance out of your device. Now, the third thing I recommend you do is make sure that you check out the storage available on your iPhone. So let's go into settings here, and let me go ahead and show you under general. Let's go under iPhone storage. Now, again, especially on older devices, which we have the lower, storage capacities. This one is 64. I have 27 gigs available of physical storage. This is important, not iCloud storage, but actual physical storage. You want to make sure you have some storage available. If it's maxed out, then obviously this is going to cause some performance issue. You may see some lag and some issues on your iPhone as it doesn't have any storage to manage the OS. Now, if you don't want to delete anything and create additional storage, you can always go into iCloud settings, and obviously you can get some iCloud storage and back up some of your data so that you can delete some files and save some of the files to iCloud, especially photos and videos and messages. But yeah, make sure that you also have storage available on your iPhone, because this could be the cause of some of the performance issues on your device. Now, iOS 26, to me, I love this new update, the performance, the animations, everything is flowing very nicely on this iPhone 11. However, sometimes for older devices, iOS 26 could be a little bit heavy to run. Now you can go into settings, head on over under accessibilities, and under display and text size, you can actually increase the contrast here so it is a lot easier for your iPhone to handle iOS 26 and the new liquid glass. So here is the increased contrast button. I have it in control center. That is the liquid glass effect, rendering in real time. If you enable or increase the contrast, you have less of that liquid glass, making it a little bit easier for your iPhone to handle iOS 26. Now, obviously, Apple will continue to release new software updates to optimize the performance, but yeah, those are some of the things you want to look into. Now, if you have 1 week after you install iOS 26 on your iPhone and you still have issues, the last thing I recommend you do is actually a forced restart of your device. Now, the way you do that is by pressing on the volumes up, volume down, and then pressing and holding on the side button until you see the Apple logo. So volume up, volume down, press and hold on the side button, continue holding that side button until you see the Apple logo. Once you see the Apple logo, you can release the side button, and this will free up all the RAM and performance on your iPhone in order to start over with the performance of your device. Once your device boots up, you're all set and ready to go. And there you guys have it. These are going to be some of my personal tips and recommendations to improve the user experience and perhaps address some of the lag and performance issues on iOS 26, even thermal and battery drain that some users are currently experiencing. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this information helpful, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.